Welcome back to the TNT Podcast. I am extra excited today. We have two cryptids in one, and the second one is one of my favorites, and I really think it's gonna sell you.
Sell me.
Like you're gonna be convinced.
You say so.
All right. We gotta start with the first one though.
All right.
The first cryptid is named Trunko. Trunko happens to be what some refer to as Globster.
A lobster. Come on, man.
Globster.
What?
Globster. Globster.
Oh, thought you said lobster.
Trunko was first spotted in 1924 on the coast of South Africa by a farmer named Hugh Balance. He watched the battle through binoculars. The first time it was spotted, it was battling two killer whales. The fight was so fierce it lasted 3 hours. The creature battled the orcas with its tails, and at one point it rose out of the water 20 feet in the air. It made many people think it was a polar bear because of the white fur covering its body. Of course, there are no polar bears in the southern hemisphere.
So we got a misplaced polar bear.
No.
Who lost your polar bear?
It appears the killer whales eventually won the battle because the body of this creature washed up on the beach. No scientist bothered to examine the remains, despite the fact that it laid on the beach for almost 2 weeks. Therefore, there wasn't a reliable description of the animal. 32 oxen were brought to the scene in an attempt to remove the animal, but they failed to budge it at all. The best description given was an animal with white fur and a trunk like an elephant. It was stated that it had a tail of a lobster and there was absolutely no blood inside the creature. The carcass was 47 feet long, 10 feet across, and 5 feet high. The trunk was 14 inches around and the tail was 10 feet long. The fur was mentioned at 8 inches long.
His trunk was 14 inches around?
Yeah.
Sounds like mine. You know, I think I might be pregnant with a baby elephant because its trunk's hanging out.
Okay. The animal didn't have a head at all, but the trunk was attached to its body.
Just like mine.
Stop. Then in 2010, German author Marcus Himmler found a photograph of Trunko taken in 1924 as he laid on the beach. Expert Darren Naish stated the photograph shows a rotting whale carcass.
There you got it.
Hold on. The debate over what Trunko actually is continues to this day. Author Carl Schucker claimed the animal killed 2 killer whales, beached itself out of exhaustion, and after resting 10 days, swam away unharmed.
Lay there 10 days, resting on the beach.
I'm so sorry.
True story. My buddy Ozzy, he said somebody's driving down the road and they hit an armadillo. And it throwed it into his mailbox and destroyed his mailbox, and it put the armadillo into a coma. It lay there 3 days, and it woke up and walked off. He did some kind of scientific investigation, forensic investigation to figure it out. But then again, he did call the police one time because somebody come home from work, somebody had stuck a butcher knife in his snowman.
Cryptozoologist Bernard Hevelsman believes Trunko belongs to an unknown species of pinniped, cetacean, fish, reptile, or amphibian. I already know what you're going to ask, man.
What?
The answer is a pinniped is a seal, okay? I know you're going to ask. I know.
What's that other one?
A whale. Cetacean.
Why didn't you just say that to begin with? You're trying to convince all our listeners out there that you're intelligent. You got smart overnight. I think they pretty well got you figured out, man.
I'm getting smarter as the show goes on. Not that I wasn't like... Okay. Cryptozoologist Lance Broadshawd believed Trunko is a plesiosaur.
Everything has to be a pleasure sore with you.
It's not... Plesio. That's it. That's it for that one.
That's it.
For Trunko.
Thank goodness. Let's put this Trunko out of his misery.
The next one. This next one is one of my favorites. Not my favorite, but one of my favorites. And I'm gonna convince you on it right now. The second the second cryptid we'll be discussing today is called Spring-Heeled Jack. He's found in England. He was spotted in 1837. He had been seen from one end of England to the other. So many people saw him at the time that he became famous there.
Spring-Heeled Jack. Are you serious?
Yes.
Are you making this up?
Nope. This one's
you
big.
Sure. I mean,
hold on, please. Let me.
Yesterday you had Harry Potter and a broom jockey, and now we're doing this.
Just hear me out.
Okay, I'll try not to interrupt.
Spring Hill Jack was please don't. Spring Hill Jack was described as a terrifying being. Instead of hands, he had claws, and his eyes looked like balls of fire. One person called him a diabolical physiognomy.
Why are you using all these big words? You can barely speak English.
This is what they called it. Please.
So what does that mean?
It means his facial features are deranged in appearance.
Rearranged in appearance.
Deranged.
You mean like his nose is above his eyes, and
deranged.
his mouth's under his left ear?
Creepy, like creepy, deranged.
Oh, he's creepy. Okay.
Spring Hill Jack wore a black coat, a helmet, and white tights for pants. He was tall and... What?
I didn't say nothing.
He was tall and thin, sounding somewhat like Slender Man. Other witnesses reported he didn't have claws for hands, but had homemade claws on his hands like Freddy Krueger. He could speak some English, and some witnesses saw him breathe out blue and white flames.
And he wore tights.
Yeah.
Is he a ballerina?
No.
Did they call him Sister Boy?
No, watch it. Listen, watch. That's offensive. You can't say that.
What?
Spring Hill Jack stood 10 feet tall and had the uncanny ability to jump over houses. As I said before, he was first spotted in 1837 in London. Sightings of him continued until the last reported was in 1904 in Liverpool.
So somebody done dressed up a kangaroo and turned it loose.
No. The first sighting involved a young girl named Mary Stevens who was walking to Lavender Hill, where she worked as a maid. As she passed a dark alley, Spring Hill Jack leapt high in the air in her direction. He wrapped his long arms around her, squeezing her so tight she couldn't scream, and began kissing her face. He used the claws to tear her clothes, and she reported that his hands touching her skin reminded her of a corpse.
This guy's a prevert.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to shoot this pederast.
Yeah, but he's a cryptid one.
A cryptid one.
Mary finally managed to scream, bringing people out of their houses. Spring Hill Jack fled into the night. The following day, he jumped in front of a carriage, causing it to crash and injuring the coachman. He then leapt over a 9-foot wall and cackled like a witch as he left. The people nicknamed him Spring-Heeled Jack.
So one day he's assaulting girls. The next day he's causing traffic accidents.
Yep.
He don't know. Come here from Sikkim, does he? He don't know if he's pooping or riding a bicycle.
Are you done?
Yeah, pretty much.
Can I have this? Things got so bad by 1838 that the mayor of London, Sir John Cohen, announced that Spring Hill Jack had attacked 7 ladies and 2 would probably never recover. At one home, Jack had rang the doorbell, and when a young girl opened the door, she fainted. She remained in a state of shock for some time.
You know why, don't you?
Because
I
he's
figured
creepy.
this out.
Cause he's...
No, it's because these girls hadn't been desensitized by these horror movies that you kids watch today. So when they see somebody ugly, they just pass out. They can't recover.
That is the dumbest theory I've ever heard in my life.
I read that in Einstein's book.
Dude. According to one newspaper at the time, Jack attacked and scratched several... Shut up, dude. Jack attacked and scratched...
Jack attack and scratch.
I can't do it, dude. Jack attacked and scratched several women with his claws, and his appearance alone sent them into senseless fits. Give me a second. Let me breathe. This is really difficult. Please stop laughing at me. Please.
Hey, I want you to say something 3 times real fast for me.
What?
Say, I'm a smart feller, I'm a smeller fart.
No. According to one newspaper at the time, Jack attacked and scratched several women with his claws, and appearance alone sent them to senseless fits. It was later reported that several of the women had died of fright. The mayor believed it was a prankster, and he promised the police would catch this Jack, and he would be severely punished. When this failed, rewards were offered, but also failed.
Nobody could catch the kangaroo.
No, he's not a kangaroo. The next sighting was in Sussex, where Spring Hill Jack growled and chased a gardener.
Are you speaking the English language now? For somebody trying to sell this thing, I can't even understand what you're saying.
Can I reread it?
Please.
The next sighting was in Sussex, where Spring Hill Jack growled and chased a gardener. He then leapt over a high wall and disappeared. The entity's popularity reached an all-time high when he attacked 2 teenage girls.
Okay, now he's attacking a male gardener. I mean, you're talking about confused. Somebody needs to hire him a prostitute or something.
My theory is that he did it to like mess with people. He's getting some weird like pleasure out of this, you know?
Yeah, he's a weirdo.
Exactly. The first girl named The first girl was named Jane Alsop, and she was home alone when a man claiming to be a police officer knocked on the door. It was after dark, and the man asked her to bring a candle because he had caught Spring-Heeled Jack. She brought the candle and noticed the man was extremely tall, and his face was covered by his cloak. He suddenly threw the cloak off, revealing what he looked like. She referred to it as, quote, a most hideous and frightful appearance. He then vomited blue and white flames, and his eyes were the color of balls of fire.
I reckon what he'd be eating to make him puke blue flames.
It wasn't what he ate. He's just powerful.
I bet when he goes to the bathroom, you can hear him for miles. Can you imagine pooping blue flames? You know he had to poop in the creek. He'd be afraid he'd start a forest fire.
It doesn't sound bad.
It doesn't sound bad. Pooping flames.
He grabbed her and...
You ain't ate no jalapenos lately, have you?
He grabbed her and tore her gown with his claws. She screamed, and he let go of her. He then chased her towards the house and caught her on the front doorstep. He then scratched her neck and arms with the claws. When her sister came into the house, he let her go and disappeared into the night.
You know, he's to be so bad, he sure is scared of everything.
I know that's the weird thing about him, isn't it?
It's got to be a kangaroo.
9 days later, Jack attacked Lucy Scales, who was 18 years old, and her sister. As they passed by a dark alley, they noticed a tall man standing at an odd angle to them. As they got near the man, he turned and vomited blue flames into Lucy's face. This momentarily blinded her, and she collapsed at his feet. She immediately began to have a violent seizure. Her brother heard the commotion and raced to the scene. Jack had vanished by the time he arrived.
So he pukes blue flames in her face.
Yeah.
Then he leaves.
Yeah.
Now what exactly is he trying to accomplish here? I mean, at some point here, you got to wonder, does he know?
He's just messing with people. He's being a bad guy, you know? Like, that's the thing. That's what makes him, like, he uses, like, other sciences. We don't know what he wants.
Sounds like he needs to drink some water.
Eventually, a man named Thomas Milbank took credit for being Spring-Heeled Jack, and a trial was held.
Who was this guy? Milbank.
Milbank.
Oh, Bank.
The only thing that kept him from being convicted was the fact that Jane Alsop stated he could vomit blue fire, and Thomas Milbank couldn't do that.
And neither could the other 3 million guys they arrested either. It's going to take a while to find that guy.
His sightings soon died down until 1843 when he reappeared again. These continued until 1847. That year, another arrest was made of Captain Finch, who was charged with assaulting 2 women. However, he was never reported to be Spring-Heeled Jack. He would be spotted again several times in the 1870s.
Yeah, he didn't want them to forget about him. You know, he really hadn't accomplished a lot. Man, why are you so impressed with this guy?
Because, like, he's weird.
Yeah, he ain't doing nothing.
But he's, like, attacking people and then leaving. It's almost like he's playing some sick game, you know?
Okay.
It's just very convincing to me. In 1877, he was challenged on a military base by a sentry. He ignored orders to halt, and the soldiers fired at him. The soldier reported that he made amazing leaps in the air, and he made his escape. Soldiers continued seeing Jack until 1879. Some soldiers believed these appearances were pranks performed by Lieutenant Alfrey, but he was never charged or court-martialed, so...
Let me guess, this lieutenant couldn't vomit blue flames either.
No.
I can hear him now. We got him this time. Oh, no, he can vomit green flames, but not blue. We're going to have to cut him loose.
He was spotted on the roof of a church in 1888, and in 1904 he was last spotted in Liverpool. Some people believe they know the identity of Jack, and they think that person was an Irishman named Marquess.
What a name.
They point at this man because he had such a sense of humor. He also had trouble with the women in his life and had several run-ins with the police. Marquess died, however, in 1859 from a horse riding accident.
Was he puking blue flames when he fell off his horse?
That's exactly why he
Or how'd
isn't.
they decide it was
No,
him?
that's why I'm telling you it's not.
Oh.
Despite authorities thinking they were dealing with a man, most experts today believe that Jack was something paranormal, maybe even a demon, and some theories state that Jack was an extraterrestrial.
He's
That's
an
it.
ET.
That's it. That's the script.
Poor monkey just wanted to phone home. He just wanted a girlfriend, like scared to ask him out. Every time he tried to talk to a girl, he'd get nervous and puke blue flames. His eyes are probably red because he's hung over from the night before drinking, because he's lonely.
I think he was happy.
I mean, this, you could be, back before you cut your fingernails, they could have thought you was Spring Hill Jack. You ask a girl out and you go to adjust her blouse and tear it with them fingernails of yours, or them toenails, and they'd say, well, Springtail Timmy's here, or whatever.
Really?
You really buying this?
Yeah. He jumped 9 foot high. How you explain that?
My buddy Ozzy sees a spider, he can jump 9 foot high.
Dude, no, hold on. No, look at this. Look at this. They brought 32 ox. Oh, wait.
They brought 32 oxen to watch him jump.
Hang on, wait.
You can't even get the right cryptid, dude. Come on, man.
Look, his face was so hideous and frightful that this girl fainted, dude.
Yeah, that's because she wasn't desensitized.
No, it's not. Where did you even hear that?
What?
Where did you hear that?
I mean, some girl might say the same thing about you.
Why?
By the way, when's the last time you had a date?
A while ago. Valentine's Day. Screw you. But look. Look.
Yeah, Jane. You couldn't even say her name either. You called her Jack.
No, I didn't. How do you explain? You're telling me his claws were so sharp he could tear cloth. He dodged people shooting at him. No man can do that.
People shooted at him.
No, people shooted at him and then he
shooted at him.
They shot at him and he dodged it. This is real, dude. I'm telling you.
Speaking in tongues over here.
Listen, they shooted him.
You got the spirit, ain't you?
No, cause he jumped. He jumped.
So the kangaroo.
No, but he's not a kangaroo. Can a kangaroo dodge bullets? I don't think so.
Maybe.
Can a kangaroo vomit blue fire?
No, neither can people.
That's what I'm saying.
It's pervert.
No, he's doing it because he's.
Hey, if he's vomiting fire
spooky.
and kissing girls on the face, how'd they not get 3rd-degree burns? I mean, really, come on.
No, it might not have been puke fire. It was just puke. It was bright. Maybe he just opened his mouth and lights came out.
Oh,
dude,
you mean he's been drinking out of a nuclear reactor?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's something to it.
No wonder he's gross looking. He's
This
got
was
radiation
one
poisoning.
I've been looking forward to do since episode 1. You gotta give this to me.
Nah, I just don't like it.
Why?
I don't know. That sounds suspicious.
He fell in a horse riding accident.
Hey, what?
He fell in a horse riding accident.
You said that wasn't him.
Oh, that was Marquise. Can I at least get above a 5?
Well, if we add Trunko together with it, we might. Let's see. Trunko.
You hear that storm?
Yeah, I hear
That can't be a coincidence.
No. Trunko's a 1. That's well blown.
Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Just please.
Okay.
Spring Hill.
Spring Hill Jack. I gotta get Spring Hill Jack. Bounces over walls. Pukes fire.
Please.
Red eyes. His face is rearranged.
This is not rearranged.
Poops in the branch.
What are you talking about? I'm sorry I lost my temper.
He can't wipe his butt because it's on fire. He has to dab. So let's see here.
What?
Well, they see something. It was some kind of pervert terrorizing these girls. So I'm gonna give it a 5. It's somebody was tormenting these girls. Now, I don't think he was an extra testicle or what was that other thing you called it? Well, you wanted a 5, you got it. What you
I wanted something bigger. This is the best one yet.
Okay, I'm giving you a bigger 5. Where you going? TNT out.